diamonds. I need a moment of silence. Gladiator in this art of war.
If you've been watching the UFC lately and thought, wait, who is this wild guy flipping through the air like he's in a martial arts movie? Yeah, that's Michel Pereira. And no, he's not just about the flashy moves. This dude has been grinding for over a decade, taking the long road from Brazil's regional fight scene to the big show. And now, he's ranked number 14 in the UFC middleweight division. That's right, the Capoeira King is officially on fire. Let's rewind a bit. Michel Lima Pereira began his MMA career in 2011, fighting in smaller promotions in Pará, Brazil. He was a young guy with big dreams, earning a 9-3 record with his flashy moves. He won against fighters like Daziel da Silva Jr. and Silmar Nunes, not famous names, but respected veterans in Brazil's local scene. These victories helped him get a chance to fight in bigger promotions like Jungle Fight and XFC. At XFC International 7, Michel Pereira stunned everyone with a slick guillotine submission in round 3 against Geraldo Coelho. He followed it up with a wild performance at XFC International 9, wheel kicks, flying knees, pure chaos, and earned a unanimous decision win over Cairo Rocha. 2 big wins, and suddenly he's headlining against Carlston Harris. Although Pereira lost by decision, his showmanship remained unmatched. After that, Pereira took his skills on a globe-trotting tour. Serbia, Russia, China. Wins, losses, crazy techniques, and that signature flair. He got choked by Abubakar Vargaev, suffered tough losses to Ismael de Jesus and Kurbanjang Tuluosibake, but also racked up impressive wins, including a beautiful arm triangle submission against Stanley Barboza, and decisions over Renato Gomez and Cristiano Estela Rios. It wasn't always smooth sailing, but that's the thing with Pereira. He's not here to play it safe. He's here to entertain, shock, and do things that shouldn't work, but somehow do. From Brazil's jungle gyms to the UFC's octagon, his style is pure mayhem in motion. And now, he's ranked. He's evolved. Michel Pereira isn't just a highlight reel. He's a serious problem in the middleweight division. On May 18, 2019, Michel Pereira burst onto the UFC scene with a jaw-dropping performance against Danny Roberts at UFC Fight Night 152. A Showtime kick, a Superman punch, and a first-round knockout left everyone stunned, earning Pereira Performance of the Night honors from Dana White. But this was just the beginning. Next, at UFC Fight Night 158, Pereira faced Tristan Connolly after Sergey Kondozhko encountered visa issues. Pereira missed weight by 2 pounds, and despite his flashy moves, he was outworked and lost by unanimous decision, earning MMA Junkie's Upset of the Year. To make matters worse, he lost 30% of his purse and was ineligible for the Fight of the Night bonus. Then came UFC Fight Night 167 against Diego Sanchez. Pereira dominated, but was disqualified for an illegal knee, a brutal mistake in a fight he was winning. However, at UFC Fight Night 176 in September 2020, Pereira faced Zelim Imadaev. After a tense weigh-in, Pereira got revenge during the fight, slapping Imadaev back, dominating every round, and submitting him for another Performance of the Night bonus. The message was clear: don't poke the Capoeira bear. Then came Nico Price in July 2021. Same story, focused, locked-in Pereira. Another win, another unanimous nod. Now, the fight against Muslim Salikov in January 2022, cancelled. Salikov pulled out, no fight. But on January 22, 2022, Pereira faced Andre Fialho at UFC 270, and once again, got the W unanimous decision. He wasn't just the wild striker anymore. He was becoming the complete package. Next up, Santiago Ponzinibbio on May 21, 2022. This one was a war, back-and-forth fireworks. Pereira edged out the split decision, and this time, he did get that $50,000 Fight of the Night bonus. Then, silence. He was scheduled to face Sean Brady in March 2023, but Brady pulled out with a torn groin. No replacement, no fight. Then the Stephen Thompson fight, UFC 291. Pereira missed the weight by 3 pounds. The bout was cancelled. A frustrating setback for a guy who had momentum on his side. 17 months later, after all the chaos, all the weight misses, and all the build-up, Michel Pereira returned, this time as a middleweight, ready to restart the storm. October 14th, 2023, UFC Fight Night 230. Opponent? Andre Petroski, stepping in last minute after Marc-Andre Barriault withdrew. Pereira, calm, dangerous, dialed in. First round TKO. Another Performance of the Night. Another boom. And then came UFC 299, March 9th, 2024. Pereira faced Michal Oleksiejczuk and made the octagon his playground. He danced his way to the cage with his trainer, literally breaking into a choreographed routine that had the crowd going nuts. But once the fight started, it took just 61 seconds to make a statement. One body shot folded Oleksiejczuk in half. Knees followed. Pereira clinched, slipped to the back, locked in a rear naked choke, and put him out cold. Unconscious. Done. Another performance of the night. This isn't just chaos anymore. This is calculated mayhem. And if you're not watching Michel Pereira right now, you're missing a masterclass in madness. Before we move on, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. Originally, Michel Pereira was lined up to face Makhmud Muradov at UFC 301 on May 4th, 2024. But things took a sharp turn when Muradov had to pull out due to an infection. Enter Ihor Potieria, a late replacement, and unfortunately, a sitting duck for what was about to happen. From the moment the cage door shut, Pereira looked locked in, and it took him just 35 seconds to prove why he's one of the most explosive fighters on the roster. It started with a laser-guided jab that dropped Potieria hard. And then, in true Pereira fashion, he didn't just follow up, he backflipped into the chaos. As Potieria tried to get back to his feet, he left his neck out just enough for Pereira to snatch it. Within seconds, he had the guillotine locked in tight and got the submission before the first minute was even up. Just like that, another performance of the night bonus was added to his collection. UFC commentator Joe Rogan captured it perfectly in one line. This guy is a nightmare at 185 pounds. The kicks, the athleticism, the sheer wildness. Pereira's style is like something out of a fight movie, and he's delivering it live on the biggest stage in the sport. There was talk of a quick turnaround against Roman Dolidze on June 8th at UFC on ESPN 57, but Pereira made it clear he never signed anything. That matchup never materialized, and the buzz quickly faded. Fast forward to October 19th, 2024, UFC Fight Night 245. Michel Pereira stepped up as the main event against Anthony "Fluffy" Hernandez. It was a big moment, a test to see how Pereira would fare in a grueling 5-round war. And from the opening bell, it was clear this was going to be a grind. Hernandez came in with a game plan and executed it to perfection. He wore Pereira down with takedowns, constant pressure, and suffocating control. Round after round, he chipped away, dominating the ground exchanges and landing heavy strikes from the top. By the 5th round, Pereira was gassed out, his face split open by a gash over his eyebrow, and referee Herb Dean stepped in to call it. Hernandez walked away with a statement-making 5th round TKO. The numbers told the full story. 219 total strikes to Pereira's 29. A brutal 97-0 in-ground strikes. Nearly 16 minutes of control time. It was a lopsided performance, and the end of an 8-fight win streak for Pereira. Only one judge gave Pereira the first round. After that, it was all one-way traffic for Fluffy, who notched his 6th straight win. Still, even in defeat, Pereira left with his trademark heart on full display. He survived a beating most fighters would have folded under. The Capoeira Master may have been out-grappled, but he didn't lose his fire. He's still the unpredictable storm in the middleweight division. Still, the guy who might throw a backflip mid-fight. One setback doesn't erase the chaos he brings. If anything, it just sets the stage for another wild comeback. What's your favorite Michel Pereira moment? The backflips? The flying knees? That 61-second choke at UFC 299? Let it be known in the comments below. And while you're here, subscribe for more deep dives into the wildest fighters in the game. Michel Pereira isn't just a highlight. He's a warning to the middleweight division. And this story, it's far from over. Stay locked in. More chaos is coming.